Between the driest desert and the living ocean lies a hidden world unlike any other on Earth. Beneath these waters, giants appear in a place where life should seem impossible. Every year, thousands of silent wings transform this desert sea into one of nature's greatest spectacles. In these quiet waters, a hidden world begins with one of the ocean's most charming survivors. In the quiet shallows, survival begins with the strength to remain almost perfectly still. Among tangled roots, a tiny ambush hunter guards a territory no wider than a hand. These sheltered nurseries protect young predators before they face the open sea. Color becomes a living signature on the black stone of the desert coast. Even the smallest movements reshape the living landscape beneath the desert sea. Even the smallest territories are defended with extraordinary determination. A vigilant parent keeps fresh water moving across thousands of developing eggs. On the pale bottom, camouflage transforms stillness into protection. The reef's narrow corridors guide powerful fish between feeding grounds and shelter. Suspended above the reef, a single fish harvests food carried by the current. Constant grazing prevents fast-growing algae from smothering the stone beneath. Among ancient volcanic formations beneath the Gulf, countless creatures survive in a world hidden from the desert above. Ancient travelers continue their journey through waters that have protected life for millions of years. A body built like armor trades speed for control and protection. Hidden weapons remain folded until the moment ordinary defenses are no longer enough. What appears threatening is often nothing more than the steady rhythm of breathing. Flexible bodies allow secretive hunters to enter chambers inaccessible to almost every other fish. Beneath the sand rests an animal capable of defending itself without teeth or speed. A buried shape becomes a silent traveler across the lagoon floor.
Part ray and part shark in appearance, this ancient form is perfectly shaped for coastal hunting.
Above the nursery, a graceful filter feeder follows invisible rivers of plankton.
Sensitive organs beneath the head reveal prey concealed below the surface.
Hidden among the rocks, an intelligent hunter changes with the world around it. With remarkable control over its body, this intelligent hunter moves through the reef with extraordinary precision.
One of the reef's fastest movements lasts less than the blink of an eye.
In these crowded stones, sound becomes both a warning and a weapon. Beneath the surface of the desert sea, countless hidden pathways support life among the ancient rocks. Even among the smallest creatures, the hidden floor of the ocean is filled with endless survival stories. Long antennae explore the darkness before the body leaves the security of stone. For this traveler, protection is borrowed, tested, and carried across the seabed. Movement can be nearly invisible, yet thousands of tiny feet continue the journey. In the hidden valleys beneath the Gulf, survival depends on patience and perfect adaptation. Heavy spines provide an anchor where constant water movement challenges every grip. Beneath a simple shape, Countless moving structures gather food from the sand. The lagoon floor is continually renewed by quiet recyclers working grain by grain.
Unable to travel, this living filter depends entirely on the moving sea.
Inside an unremarkable shell, layer after layer of mineral can create unexpected beauty. Beneath the quiet surface, even the hidden shapes of the seabed are alive with silent movement. Without a shell, warning colors become a defense understood across the reef. A gentle grazer turns coastal algae into energy for the hidden food web. From beneath the sand, a crown of tentacles harvests whatever the tide delivers. A living fan disappears faster than the eye can follow. When the bright shallows fade, tiny nocturnal hunters begin to open. A hole scarcely wider than its body becomes an entire fortress. Across the quiet ocean floor, even the smallest explorers rely on delicate senses to survive. A slender hunter disguises its outline by matching the vertical shapes of the reef. In the silent world beneath the waves, every movement is carefully shaped by the rhythm of the ocean. Beyond the protected shallows, speed becomes the defining advantage.
As daylight weakens, sound carries through the water where vision begins to fail.
Among the ancient volcanic walls, silent hunters wait inside a world shaped by fire and water. As daylight fades, one of the reef's most powerful residents leaves its stone refuge. On the ancient lava wall, brilliant color conceals a highly specialized appetite.
A narrow mouth searches places that broader jaws can never reach. This patient watcher hunts from the reef rather than through it.
This patient watcher hunts from the reef rather than through it.
An abandoned shell becomes a fortress for one of the reef's smallest guardians.
Even beneath solid stone, the current delivers a constant stream of food.
Every natural arch connects the security of stone with the uncertainty of open water. A heavily built predator needs no sudden display to command the reef. Beneath the sand, scent and vibration reveal what the eyes cannot. Here, the strongest swimmers use the current as a road rather than an obstacle. Large eyes prepare this twilight hunter for a world where color is vanishing. Stillness hides the explosive speed stored within a narrow body. Built for endurance, this traveler rarely allows the water around it to become still. A rising current transforms invisible nutrients into a moving evening feast. Thousands of separate decisions create the illusion of a single silver body. At the ocean's ceiling, a long-bodied hunter occupies the space between two worlds. For a few remarkable seconds, the sea releases one of its own into the air. Changing color reveals the excitement and energy of a restless ocean wanderer. A legendary hunter enters without warning and disappears with equal silence. A living sail transforms each turn into a precise act of hydrodynamic control. A wide sensory platform searches an enormous volume of water with every movement. Not every shark rules through speed. Some survive through patience and armor. A heavy traveler depends on the smallest plants growing across the ancient stone. A heavy traveler depends on the smallest plants growing across the ancient stone. Intelligence is expressed not only through hunting, but also through care of the body. Family groups cross the gulf through communication, memory, and constant cooperation. Every line across this pale skin records a life spent among powerful companions. From the air, a precise hunter strikes through the boundary in a single breath. An elastic pouch separates seawater from a carefully captured meal.
Dense bones and strong feet transform a flying bird into an agile underwater pursuer.
After sunset, a hidden red migration climbs toward the productive surface. With no bones, heart, or brain, this ancient drifter still crosses the living sea. Thousands of tiny paddles produce color without creating a single ray of light. A temporary colony travels by filtering the ocean through its own transparent bodies. Darkness releases a feeding structure more complex than the branches of a tree. A hidden hunter survives by sensing the movement of the world around it. An animal resembling a flower can abandon the reef and swim through darkness. A colony anchored beneath the sand rises each night to feed as one body. Some living structures grow so slowly that centuries pass across a single branch. The reef turns its living sails toward the invisible river passing through darkness. Many tiny bodies combine their strength to filter a continuous stream of seawater. A body without organs cleans the sea by moving water through living walls. Dozens of simple eyes watch from the edge of a shell that never travels. Beneath an ornate shell lies one of the coast's most precise chemical hunters. Cleanliness and sensitivity are essential for a fragile animal living among powerful neighbors. The smallest predators of the deep reef rely on patience and precision. The seabed itself becomes a disguise for a hunter built to live beneath it. In darkness, a mirror-thin body can erase its outline with a single turn. Under the moon, the ocean briefly sends an entire generation onto the desert shore. Dawn returns the silent beach to the hunters waiting above the tide. A moment of perfect balance ends in a swift descent through the surface. At the edge of the desert, bright feet grip stone polished by countless tides. An ocean traveler can remain airborne for hours by borrowing energy from the wind.
The smallest seabirds search a vast ocean, one delicate touch at a time.
Every rolling wave creates a temporary valley hidden from the desert coast. A bird built for flight becomes equally capable beneath the sea. From the barren cliff, an elegant traveler returns to the living ocean. Cold water carries the tiny animals that support nearly every giant in this sea. Within the drifting community, even a nearly invisible body can become a hunter. A miniature mollusk flies through the ocean using wings made for water. Beneath the waves, even the smallest creatures perform silent journeys that sustain the ocean. A brief spark in the water can distract danger long enough for escape. A tiny predator uses the ocean's ceiling as both road and refuge. A fragile voyager moves across the ocean without ever choosing its own direction. A fragile voyager moves across the ocean without ever choosing its own direction. Tiny fish transform drifting plankton into energy that will move through the entire Gulf. In the open ocean, survival depends on thousands of small decisions made in a single moving cloud. In these waters, every creature has adapted to survive in a constantly changing world. Near the surface, specialized hunters use every advantage in a world shaped by currents and light. Constant grazing turns the sunlit rock into fuel for a powerful swimmer. A broad body sacrifices speed for stability in the moving coastal water. Distinctive markings conceal a careful feeder working across the reef's uneven surface. In the moving ocean, survival depends on precision rather than speed.
The brilliant colors of the shallows remain useful even where predators are watching.
As light weakens, softer colors replace the bright patterns of the upper reef. A massive resident needs only a few meters of stone to control its world. Stillness and texture erase a predator against the ancient volcanic slope. Powerful teeth allow this reef worker to uncover food protected by stone and shell. A coastal traveler follows subtle changes in temperature across the sandy Gulf floor. A rare giant survives within the only sea on Earth it has ever known. Beyond the familiar waters, another world continues beneath the fading light. At the meeting of two water masses, speed allows a hunter to exploit both. A compact body built for continuous motion connects the surface with the depths below. Every hidden corner of the ocean creates a different world, shaped by depth and time. Few fish can transform stillness into such extraordinary speed. A deep-ranging hunter crosses enormous vertical distances in search of changing conditions. A streamlined body stores the potential for speed without wasting a single movement. Long fins provide control where no reef, coast, or seabed offers guidance. In the open sea, efficiency allows a traveler to cross distances beyond sight. Far from the coast, every drifting shadow may signal shelter, food, or danger. A smaller relative uses the shape of the underwater mountain to conserve energy. The richest currents in this desert sea sustain the largest animal ever to have lived. Sound replaces vision as a giant hunter descends toward the hidden depths. Speed and immense size combine in one of the Gulf's most efficient travelers. A deep-diving navigator prepares to enter a world beyond the reach of daylight. Flexible throat grooves allow an enormous body to capture an entire volume of living water. Speed and immense size combine in one of the Gulf's most efficient travelers. The richest currents in this desert sea sustain the largest animal ever to have lived. At the boundary between warmth and cold, an ancient wanderer pauses between two oceans. Beneath floating stone, a fragile traveler carries both shelter and the promise of a new generation.
Far from land, a reptile survives by drinking rain and breathing between the waves.
Near the ocean surface, specialized swimmers survive in a world shaped by changing currents and light. Color and speed announce the arrival of one of the Gulf's most formidable night travelers. A coded line of living lights helps this tiny migrant navigate the ocean's nightly darkness. A mirror becomes camouflage when every remaining ray arrives from above. In the endless darkness below, even the smallest lights can reveal a hidden world. The most numerous vertebrates on Earth remain hidden in water and few eyes will ever see. In the quiet depths, even the strangest forms reveal the incredible adaptations of ocean life. In the darkness below, a single point of light becomes a powerful survival tool. A fearsome appearance belongs to a small survivor living beneath immense pressure. Where sunlight never reaches, strange survivors depend on the hidden energy of the deep.
Rarely seen by human eyes, the oarfish moves like a living ribbon through the hidden depths of the ocean.
Warm muscles allow this deep traveler to remain active where most fish slow down. Dark skin conceals a powerful hunter against the endless water beyond the ridge. Across the hidden canyons of the deep sea, ancient travelers move silently through the darkness. Across the hidden slopes of the ocean floor, silent predators move with perfect efficiency. An ancient body plan has endured while entire ocean worlds changed above it. In near-freezing darkness, the slowest movement may be the most economical. A distant relative of sharks searches the deep slope with senses hidden beneath its head. Hidden among the shadows of the seafloor, this elusive hunter moves carefully through a world where every small movement matters. Material carried from distant cliffs gathers here, creating a feeding ground at the canyon's end. In the hidden valleys of the ocean floor, mysterious creatures move slowly through ancient landscapes shaped by time and currents. Across the quiet seafloor, every creature has evolved perfectly for life in this hidden world beneath the waves. On an empty slope, patience saves more energy than pursuit. An expandable body prepares this small fish for rare meals that may arrive without warning.
Even the smallest creatures of the deep ocean play an important role in the hidden ecosystem beneath the waves.
The soft flesh and low energy demands suit a world where food and movement are limited. An armored scavenger crosses lava that cooled long before its own lineage appeared. Delicate limbs navigate a landscape sharp enough to resemble broken glass. Far beneath the waves, countless small creatures quietly shape the hidden world of the ocean floor. Armor made of flexible plates protects a scavenger beside unstable frozen gas. Only a thin shelter separates living tissue from water hot enough to destroy most life. Across the quiet ocean floor, Even slow-moving creatures play an important role in maintaining the balance of life beneath the waves. A body reduced almost entirely to legs moves carefully across the mineral frontier. This remarkable creature navigates the deep-sea floor using peristalsis, contracting its body in waves to crawl forward through the sand. A living stone garden creates shelter across a seabed with no fixed reef. Broad wings uncover food hidden beneath generations of shattered shells. Hidden wings transform a bottom-dwelling fish into one of the Gulf's most spectacular shapes.
On the seafloor, walking can be more efficient than swimming.
Found in the shallow coastal waters, this tiny predator uses specialized cells to disappear in plain sight.
A pool left behind by the tide becomes a temporary world of its own. With deliberate, almost imperceptible movements, the cushioned sea star utilizes its tiny tube feet to glide across the rocky surface. Even a destructive appetite remains part of the reef's ancient balance.
The Arbacia lixula, a black sea urchin, finds refuge among these dark volcanic rocks.
Quiet processing returns buried nutrients to the living reef. Camouflage is collected piece by piece from the world around the body. A brilliant guardian reinforces its doorway, one carefully chosen stone at a time. A tiny resident transforms an abandoned tube into a stage for survival. Camouflage disappears the moment the hidden body leaves the bottom. The seabed opens for a single instant and closes around the hunter again. An unmistakable silhouette passes through one of the Gulf's most intricate living shelters. A precise mouth gathers food from spaces protected by fragile stone. Color and cooperation create brief moments of safety within the crowded reef. From the highest branch, patience offers a view of every movement below.
A flexible mouth searches beneath a bottom constantly reshaped by current.
Speed carries a silver traveler between the hidden feeding grounds of the coast.
An ancient herbivore harvests the fertility gathered inside the sheltered bay.
A muscular traveler uses the underwater ridge as a guide through moving water.
Power rules the open passage, but every movement still conserves energy.
A shark, shaped like a ray, disappears beneath the soft continental shelf. Few ocean predators can cross the shifting boundary between salt and fresh water. At the wild edge of the Gulf, a powerful wanderer follows scent across changing water. A sensitive hunter searches for shellfish hidden beneath the quiet shelf. An ancient form combines the flattened body of a ray with the tail of a shark.
Broad wings transform the empty seabed into a space for effortless flight.
A trailing spine follows a sensitive hunter across the shell-covered trough.
A rough-skinned ray travels across a seabed, hardened like a desert floor.
A specialized beak reaches food concealed inside the reef's narrowest chambers.
Heavy jaws open food protected by armor stronger than most predators can break.
Sound maps the invisible shape of water rising for the depths.
A spinning leap may communicate excitement across a moving ocean community.
Intelligence turns a drifting object into a moment of exploration and play.
A secretive whale carries an unusual defense into the open Gulf.
Thousands of tiny bodies unite to form one transparent traveler. What appears to be one animal is an entire community traveling as a single body. A fragile raft allows a shell-bearing hunter to live permanently at the surface. A master of camouflage, the grouper glides effortlessly, an apex predator in this vibrant marine habitat. Here we see the Catharina tunicata, a species of black chiton, firmly attached. The intricate ecosystem of the volcanic reef supports a surprising array of life. The edge of the flood plume becomes a moving corridor for fast hunters.
Beneath the storm, falling air creates a forest that exists for seconds. Even material washed from the desert can create shelter in open water. Storm mixing gathers scattered plankton into a short-lived feast. Powerful surge strips the rock clean and reveals food hidden beneath sediment. Countless hollow chambers transform fragile stone into a living labyrinth. Color survives even where storm-darkened water weakens the sun. A chamber created by ancient gas becomes shelter for a solitary reef predator. Precise fin control allows a compact body to resist the open gulf's strongest flow. A shifting pattern allows this fish to disappear among drifting leaves. A narrow hunter moves through spaces where a broad body could never pass. Powerful teeth slowly transform solid reef into the sand surrounding it. A brilliant face guards a territory smaller than the surrounding sponge. Texture and stillness conceal a predator against mineral patterns created by fire. A motionless disguise conceals one of the reef's fastest feeding actions. Invisible currents gather nightlife into a rotating path through open water. A submerged mountain becomes a navigational landmark in the featureless ocean. A young coastal hunter follows channels shaped by tides rather than rivers. A quiet shark conserves energy inside a chamber protected from the storm.
Storm water creates a temporary ceiling above the saltier Gulf.
A colony resembling a flower hides most of its body beneath the sand. A permanent grip allows life to endure where the ocean repeatedly strikes stone. A flattened body exchanges long antennae for armor suited to narrow spaces. A creature without fins turns its entire body into a flowing underwater wing. The storm carries cold, deep water upward, briefly opening a road toward the sun. Even the open ocean's surface supports an animal that never enters the water below. Where the open Pacific meets the Gulf, the smallest travelers read every movement of the tide.
A curved bill reaches food concealed beneath a landscape hardened by salt. Between two waves,
Only seconds remain to search the newly exposed stone.
A long migration pauses where the desert protects a hidden garden of saltwater plants.
A northern visitor carries the skills of cold lakes into this warm desert sea.
Along the coast, survival depends on patience and precision.
For coastal hunters, every successful catch is a moment shaped by instinct and precision.
Hidden among the coastal grasses, this secretive bird survives by moving carefully through the changing rhythm of the marsh. Small fish create the foundation of life beneath the waves, connecting countless species in this hidden ecosystem. In the ocean floor, survival depends on adaptation, patience, and the delicate balance of nature. Some creatures are perfectly designed to travel silently across the ocean floor. As the seabed changes, new creatures appear, perfectly adapted to life across endless sandy plains. A flattened hunter changes position as silently as the sand itself. A small flatfish uses the moving seabed as both road and concealment. Color adjusts to a seabed where every stone reflects a different shade. Sound transforms a hidden stone chamber into a territorial signal heard across the reef. Nearly transparent fish turn a sunlit shelf into a field of moving silver. A narrow traveler lives within centimeters of the boundary between water and air. A reflective body carries the remaining daylight into the upper edge of the deep sea. The shape of an invisible current guides a powerful swimmer around an underwater mountain. The needlefish, a master of camouflage, patrols the shallow lagoon, its keen eyes searching for unsuspecting prey just above the surface.
In the open ocean, countless species travel through silent currents, perfectly adapted to their vast underwater world.
Far from the coast, open waters reveal new travelers, shaped by endless ocean currents. Far from the coast, powerful hunters move silently through the endless blue, following ancient instincts shaped by the open ocean. Among the hidden spaces of the reef, silent predators wait patiently, perfectly adapted to life between rocks and shadows. A secretive fish spends much of its life inside shelters borrowed from other organisms. Hidden beneath the ocean floor, even the smallest creatures have evolved remarkable ways to survive in a world of constant change.
Thousands of nearly invisible movements feed a body shaped by the current.
Bristles provide armor inside a maze too narrow for larger scavengers. A fragile paper-like home protects a soft animal from the moving seabed. A simple, flexible body turns a tiny hole into a complete feeding territory. Within the hidden cracks of the reef, countless creatures find shelter among ancient stones shaped by the ocean itself.
Armor and burial transform a slow crab into a nearly invisible stone.
A miniature guest survives within the protected chamber of a much larger mollusk.
Across the quiet seafloor, slow-moving creatures reveal a different rhythm of life, perfectly adapted to the gentle currents of the coastal ocean.
On the volcanic slopes of the ocean floor, even quiet creatures like calico scallops survive through patience. Along the quiet coastal seabed, slow-moving creatures continue their ancient journey through the shifting sands of the ocean. In the coral reef world, even the smallest creatures reveal extraordinary beauty. Every movement helps maintain the balance of ocean life.
Among the coral gardens, Silent cooperation between species keeps the reef alive. Even the smallest creatures play.
Thousands of microscopic animals build a colony resembling living lace. A skeleton made of glass creates both a filter and a permanent refuge. A fixed colony sends a free-swimming generation into the surrounding sea. Some of the Gulf's most intricate architecture is smaller than a grain of sand. The smallest plants capture morning light and begin the food chain again. Before armor and strength, a future reef scavenger crosses the Gulf as a fragile, drifting form. Before becoming powerful creatures of the ocean floor, many crabs begin life as tiny, drifting larvae carried by the currents. A reef renews itself by sending a new generation into the moving water.
After weeks in open water, one small survivor finally reaches the coast.
Beneath the waves, every creature has a purpose. Together, they create a world of beauty, balance, and endless wonder. Thank you for joining this journey into the hidden world beneath the waves. Subscribe and continue exploring the incredible wonders of our planet's oceans with us.